last class. This is Creative Dreamatics with Lori. I'm Lori Koenig, the Artistic Director at DreamWrights Center for Community Arts, and this is our 6th Creative Dreamatics lesson. So let's come over here and see what's up for today. There's the picture. Looks like some kids are actually doing some performing. So we're going to get you ready to do your own performance. And this is week 6, starts with May 11th. We'll start, as always, with a warm-up, acting with our bodies and our voices. And then we're going to move to acting with imagination, concentration, and emotion while we act to create a character. So you will have a chance to choose a character and then think about and write about your character and create something. So stay tuned and we'll be right back with our last Creative Dramatics lesson. Okay, here we are with our last body and vocal warm-up. I am, once again, just like in the first lesson, I have my slippers on, so I'm going to take those off. It's kind of a rainy day, as usual. Anyway, so we're going to get our bodies ready to warm up, and we're going to do things kind of the same as we've been. I bet you have a habit now. You know what's coming up, and we will just practice that to get our bodies warmed up a little bit. First thing, a big breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more time. Sometimes we forget to breathe. It's really good to breathe well. In through your nose, out through your mouth. There we go. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is make sure you're standing with your feet apart. Your knees are not locked. And we're going to just drop over floppy, right? Like we've been doing at the waist, and just hanging there for a minute, okay? Feels good just to hang there. Let your vertebrae stretch out. Let everything get loosey-goosey, yeah? And then we will start to slowly stand. This gives us a good stretch. Slowly stand. And if you're up already, that's too fast. So let's go slow. And then the last thing we do is bring our head up. If you need to adjust, yeah, adjust your hair, glasses. Mine almost always fall off. Okay? Another breath. All right. Now we're going to start head to toe. Here we go. We're going to go with the neck rolls to our left. Here we go. Down first, to the left, and back, and to the right. We're going to do this 3 times, so that's the first one. Here we go, second. Slowly, and third. Around again. Okay, set yourself again. We're going to go the opposite direction. 3 again. All right, here we go. Oh, we're going to start down. What was I doing? Here we go. This way. To the right. And the back. And the left. And down. Second time. And third time. Keep your eyes open so you don't fall over. Check your knees. I think I locked mine there at the end. That wasn't good. Okay, so that should be all loosened up. Now we're going to go with our shoulders. This week we're going to just start by going up, down. We're going to do that 8 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, shoulder rolls, front to back. 10 shoulder rolls, back to front. You know what to do. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was pretty fast. Take a breath. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Swing those arms up. Let them fall. We're going to do a little bit different this week. Up, fall, up, fall. Then we go up this time, we're going to reach way up high. And then when we drop, we're going to drop our knees like that. So we're going to go up and down. Up and down. Up. It kind of feels like swinging if you get it right and you don't lose your balance. So here we go. One more time. Up and down. Up and down. Good. All right. Now we're going to do our waist. Put your hands on your waist. Feet apart a little bit. Okay. And right. Oh, that was a false start. Let me try again. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. We'll do this till the next music comes on. Oh, this would be good. 1, center. Can you do that? Boom, boom. To the rhythm of the music. One more time. Okay, good. Shake those arms out. Now we're going to do our hips, right? Ready for hips? Here we go. To the left, to the front, to the right, to the back. Circle, 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 other way. Woo! One more. Okay, good. Now let's march to move our knees today. We'll march maybe 10 times. So you bring your knee up as high as you can without losing your balance. Starting with your right knee. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And now, last but not least, our ankle circles, right? With your right ankle first. Whoops, lost my balance. Gotta start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, other one. 1, 2, 3. This is better for me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we're all warmed up with our bodies. Let's warm up in just a minute with our voices. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. We are going to warm up our mouths and our jaws and everything using our voice, but not just our voices, because guess what? To use your voice, you have to use your diaphragm, your breath, your jaw muscles, your facial muscles. So what I want you to start with today is just squishing up your face. Squish, 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 squish. Make your face really small. Make your face really big. Small. Big. Small. And big. Stretch that jaw out. Okay, we're going to start with a little bit of low humming. Yeah? And then we'll move up. So let's just put your hands right here so you can feel the vibration when you hum. Right here. And start humming as low as you can. you try. Feel it vibrating? Let's try one more time. Okay. Now we're going to try with the humming, starting low and doing kind of a scale up and then down. Like this. I'll show you first. It doesn't have to sound pretty. You're just warming it up, right? Ready? Here we go together. Okay, so you should have felt a vibration right here in the upper part of your chest and also maybe right up in here just a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna do those lovely lip trills. First, just like a blubbery sound without any voice, and then with a voice. So first we'll start with just that. Ready? To a count of 5. We're gonna do it together. Ready? Here we go. One more time. Okay. Woo. Now we're going to do it with a sound like any sound you want. I mean, any pitch, high, low, whatever, any note that you want. We're going to do it the same way. 5 and then 5. Ready? Put your fingers right here on the side of your jaw. Massage it and try to really relax your jaw. So like, you know, I don't know, you've come from the dentist and you're all kind of just relaxed. Okay, make sure that's relaxed. Okay, and then we're going to do our sirens. Where we go, where we try to sound like a siren the best we can. So I will do it and then I'll give you a chance to do it. Ooh. Now you try. Did you do it? Here comes my big dog Ziggy. He heard that. Didn't you, buddy? Yeah. All right, so the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do she sells seashells by the seashore. Okay? A short one, a tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. We're going to say it 5 times, and each time we're going to say it just a little bit faster. See if you can stay with me. I don't promise that I won't mess up, but here we go. We'll try. Ready? 5 times. She sells seashells by the seashore. 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 Okay, good. All right, so now we're vocally warmed up. We are physically warmed up. And when I come back, I'm going to show you all the things you can do to put everything we've done the last 5 weeks into motion to create a character and then to create a little video or a script or something from that character. Now we're going to start by putting it all together. Body, voice, concentration, imagination, and emotion. And if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description down below, there should be a link so that you can get these documents as well, so that you can have time to put together your own character and all of the fun things that go with the character. So the first thing you would want to do, and the thing is you don't have to do this right now, all I'm going to do is show you all the things and then you can do it on your own time. All right, So the first thing you're going to do is choose a character. And I've got a bunch here that you could choose from, starting with the mad scientist or a rock star. And you can be any gender and do any of these, okay? Then we have the superhero and the cowboy or cowgirl. Then we've got an alien or a clown, a robot or a farmer, a secret agent or a ballet dancer, a wizard or a pirate, a mermaid or a knight. So if you need to stop this right now and look and see which ones you'd like to be, try to make a decision. Which one of these characters will you be? You have a bunch to choose from. And guess what? If you have a great imagination, you can also choose your own. The questions will be the same no matter what. So this is part one. We choose the character. Then the next thing we're going to do is try to answer the questions. So you may want to print this out or pause the video or whatever so that you can answer these questions about your character. There are no right or wrong answers. You get to choose, okay? So the first 5 questions are, what is your character's name? What kind of costume would your character wear? Where does your character live? And that could be not just a city and state, but do they live in a cave? Do they live on a mountain? Do they live outer space, right? Where do they live? What does your character do? That could be what they do for a living, but it could also be, what do they do? What are their hobbies? How do they spend their time? And then how does your character speak? And does he or she speak with a certain accent or dialect? And if so, what? So there's a chance for you to play with voice, right? Then we have 5 more questions for you to answer. How does your character walk? What kinds of gestures does your character use? Does your character walk fast or slow? Do they run? Do they skip? Do they walk really, really slow? Do they use their hands a lot when they talk? What kinds of things does your character do with his or her body? Right? And then the next question is, who are your character's friends? Because a lot of times you can learn a lot about somebody by knowing who their friends are. Number 8, does your character have any special abilities or powers? If so, what are they? Take a minute to describe those. Number 9, how does your character feel most days? Is your character generally a happy character or a sad character? Does your character complain a lot? Does your character joke a lot? What are your character's emotions? And then how does your character react when something bad happens? Because that shows us a lot about who a character is. Okay, so those are the questions you need to answer. So I'm going to stop this, and of course you can start the next section whenever, but you could try to answer those questions right now. About your character. Now you have to create the scene, and I've given you one suggestion right here. You can create any kind of scene you want, but in case you can't think of anything, I put one in here. So it says, now that you know your character, imagine your character at, that's supposed to say at, a fancy dinner. Perhaps you are at the dinner with all the other characters listed. What kinds of things would your character say at this dinner? What questions would he or she ask the others? So you're going to try to create a situation or a scene that your character can be in. Then the next thing you're going to do is write some lines. What are some things your character might say at this dinner? Or if you have a great imagination and you've thought of something else, create some lines and some dialogue that your character would say. And then after that, you're going to create something that you could actually write down and then act out. So you could create a short little play, you could write a song, you could do a rap, or you could make it all a dance. But you should know your character pretty well at this point, and you're going to do something to show off who your character is. Then after you've created that on paper or you've rehearsed it, then I want you to draw a picture of yourself as the character. complete with what you think the costume would look like. Or you could go ahead and dress up at home if you have stuff at home and take a photograph of what your character would look like. Now, finally, this part's optional, but I would love it if you would actually perform your piece and record it, and you could upload it to YouTube or share it with me at Lori@DreamWrights.org. And so, taking you back up to these questions for just a couple of minutes before we go, their questions are about all the different things that we've studied in these 6 weeks. There's imagination, there's voice, there's body, there's emotion, right? And of course, all of this, if you take all of this together, right, for Creative Dreamatics, concentration is one of the biggest things you would have to use to make all of this happen. So I hope that you've chosen your character and you're thinking about your character so that then you can make a lovely performance that maybe you'll record and send to me. So thank you for being part of Creative Dreamatics, and I hope that we're all together for real sometime soon.